Welcome to 10 Minutes. I'm Tony Scott. Joined with me in studio, the warmest person
toastiest
on the face of the earth right now.
The toastiest little snow.
You're at about 106 degrees right now on that. Do you realize that?
I feel pretty freaking tropical right now, man.
Yeah, well, you just got back from the Bahamas.
I did. I don't want to let go. I want my sunshine. I didn't wear socks for 4 days.
It's sunny out.
That's a trick, though. It's a jillion.
It is kind of a trick, isn't it?
I've been wearing these bibs for 3 days.
I know. We can smell you.
I know. I can smell myself.
Well, you missed the Squirtacular. So,
I did.
So let me tell you about it.
No one could smell me at the Squirtacular.
No. Chaska Chan doubles up. They win it all. Hey, I picked Matamita to double up, so I at least had the double up on part right, but I didn't have the right association.
It's okay.
A wins it in a late goal by MVP Logan Smith. B wins it in a shootout. We'll talk about that in a second. And Cole Brownshausen leads the tournament with 16 points. Got to say, he was the most outstanding hockey player I saw. Not the most valuable player because his team didn't get past the quarters.
Would he have been the MVP if they had made it to the
kind of like last year? I'll be honest. Kind of like last year with Junior Podine winning the MVP. When Cole's team won it, I think the same would have been said for Cole being the MVP for sure.
Kind of a tough moment for Cole and the Stillwater Ponies, but you had a really nice moment that you were mentioning off camera.
Great,
you had a favorite moment.
Great MVP moment as well. Zoe Zielinski, CC Gold, wins the title. She flushes the game-winning goal, clinching goal in the shootout. She gets the MVP award, and a lot of times you hand out the MVP, the crowd kind of goes a little bit crazy because they're cheering it on. But I think it was a little bit of a surprise because Zoe only had 4 points in the tournament. But like if anybody's watching this team play, it all starts and ends with Zoe Zielinski. And when I say ends, the Z in her last name, it's the ends. It all is there. And then to give her the award and see the smile on her face and hear the loud crowd approval of her as the choice was very gratifying.
It's a great name.
Satisfying. Yeah, it is.
It's a great name.
But you did some research as well. There's a red hot team north in the 218. Who's that?
I did. It popped up across my radar this morning. Hibbing Gray.
Yeah, I've noticed them. They're creeping up both rankings.
They're storming up the rankings. They're 14-1-1 in their last 16 games, 18-2-1 overall. They're Hibbing Gray, so I don't know whether to call them the Blue Jackets or the Blue-Gray Jackets, or the Mauve Jackets, if that's what blue and gray look like when they're mixed together. So we'll just call them Hibbing Gray.
All right, they're red hot. Switching gears to Pee-wees, there's a theme here.
Why don't you tell us about
the new number one in Pee-wee A? Oh, it's the same as the champions in Squirt B, Squirt A, and Pee-wee Double A, number one. Chaska Chan. So that's a really good team. They played in the Founders Cup a few weeks back. I learned from Coach Aaron Broughton. There's only one first year on that team. So think about it. It's all second year. So a bunch of 05s and 06s that are playing on that team. So no surprise that they're doing so well. So hats off to them. Speaking of another super team, Woodbury wins the Moose Goheen. Duluth East takes third. Both Todd and I went double gooch on that one. We couldn't gooch your favorite Pee-wee AA team. They can't
Woodbury is gooch free.
Yeah, well, when they play Chaska Chan, they could be gooched.
Everyone is gooched when they play Chaska Chan.
That's true. Breezy Point, a tournament you played at and as a kid. My son Jake played in a Breezy Point. It's a fun deal. Who won that tournament this weekend?
Egan Pee-wee won the Breezy Point Ice Fest. They beat West Fargo in the finals 4-2, and if memory serves me correctly, the Wildcats had a blast up at Breezy Point.
Without a question. What a great facility that is. They do a really nice job. Despite only having one rink, they do a really nice job.
The games move through pretty quickly.
Yeah, nice job. That's a good road trip for the Wildcats. Now switching gears to Bantams. Okay. Austin Maple Grove wins the Moose. They win 4-3 in overtime, and arguably one of the best games seen all year. It was a game was on YHH. David Romuald, our photographer, was there. Just posted a pictorial of the game. He says one of the best games he's seen all year.
Coming from a guy who sees.
Yeah, and he was at the Prior Lake OMG Blue Ox game.
Yeah, a little
got the
revenge
Christmas
for the
card
Leaf
picture
Birds here.
with Boshi making that save.
They didn't even let it get to a shootout this time.
No,
they went ahead
didn't.
and won it in overtime.
Well, they almost blew it because the Prior Lake tied it with 19 seconds left in regulation.
It's a very Prior Lake thing to do.
Yes, it is. Let's go over to Pee Wee Bantam A's. Cannon River wins the Little Falls tournament. Who'd they beat to get that title?
Cannon River took down St. Paul, Princeton, Hibbing, Chisholm, and the host team Little Falls by a score of 9-4.
Now, Princeton's a good team. So you look at that list of teams like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ooh, Princeton. That's a good tournament win. District 9 has a cluster of good Bantam single A teams.
An absolute cluster.
You got Gibby's team, Rochester. Yep. They're good. You got Dodge County, Brody Lamb. You have Mankato, and then you have the Knights, or whatever they are, the Kings.
Cannon River Kings.
Knights, Kings, all the same.
Medieval times.
Here's a key programming note. Only two of those teams will make it to the regionals, much less the states.
It's kind of a bummer.
Which will be a really good district, and whoever comes out of there will be battle tested.
Did I just hear road trip?
Yeah, I hear road trip.
District 9?
I hear road trip to anyone or wherever that's going to be. Usually Rochester, or maybe Mankato will be the host of that one. Sticking on the Bantam segment here, this is more of a global youth hockey statement.
Tell me about the most abusive relationship you've ever been in.
This would be the relationship I had with Fargo and Grand Forks. I mean, I love these guys. I gave these guys a ton of love the last few weeks on our show. Fargo Squirts, Grand Forks Bantams, all this. And this week, they didn't show me much love back.
Nope.
No. I mean, Fargo Squirts didn't make it out of pool play. I was disappointed. I wanted to see more out of that. And then Grand Forks Aviators, they come down and they go 0-3. Is it time for North Dakota to show me the love I've been showing back?
I think Grand Forks came close to showing you the love.
But they didn't, though.
Okay,
no love.
Hang on. Let me state my case for the Aviators of the Red River Valley. They lose to Centennial, a quality Bantam AA team, 3-1. They lose to Edina, arguably the best Bantam AA team in the state, 4-2.
Yep.
And they lose to Rosemount, another quality Bantam AA team.
Who they've beaten 3 times.
Every Irish has their day.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Maybe North Dakota is just playing hard to get with you right now.
It's time for some love.
Don't get desperate.
It's time for
Don't
some
get
love.
No double texts.
It won't be nice.
No snaps after 9 p.m.
All right. That wraps our segment. We have a real special guest who's going to come in studio and talk about their favorite moments. We'll take it into that one, and we'll come back with some high school hockey and more youth chatter after that. We have a new addition to our favorite segment. We have our favorite hockey dad on the show, talking about favorite hockey moments. Welcome, Chuck Duber, to the show. Chuck, any early remarks?
Thanks for having me. It's kind of different, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk a little bit about your son, Riley. He's had a great youth career. He's finishing up his Bantam career right now, second year Bantam. Yep. Talk a little bit about your favorite memory of Riley throughout this long process.
Wow. Well, there's sure a lot of them. I can't imagine how many games I've missed and how many I've been to, but I'm sure we're upwards of a couple good 100. I got to think our run in our first year AA Pee-wees was probably the most exciting for me. I'd love to say the Fargo tournament, but one year he had his appendix taken out before we went up, and the next year he had a broken wrist, so I can't really say the Fargo tournament for Squirts. So probably Pee-wees. The region tournament down in Owatonna was a lot of fun, and then playing in the state tournament was certainly a great opportunity, not only for him but for a dad.
So as a hockey dad, you're a notorious dad. You got a very, very memorable audio tone to your voice. When you know Duber's in the rink, it's great, and then it's always super positive. You always want your teams to do well. If there were more Chuck Dubers, hockey would be great in Minnesota. But I just assumed when I met Riley at our combine that he'd be a little mini Chuck. He'd be yapping his lip. Doesn't say a word. Kid doesn't say a word. That was the first takeaway.
Yep. And
the second takeaway was him in our Blue Ox tournament this year. He was brilliant in the finals. He scored 2 goals. He was all tournament team kid. Fun kid to watch play the game. Plays hard. Plays the right way. We need more kids like Riley playing as well.
Sure.
So talk a little bit about that, your favorite memories. Go back to an individual thing that Riley has done or whatever that kind of stands out to you.
Well, again, probably sticking to the Pee Wee AA first year down in Owatonna. We got the #1 seed right out of the chute against OMG. And again, first year I wasn't sure how much ice time he was going to get. He was fortunate to play on Beatty's line a little bit, so that was kind of nice. But from a standpoint there, he ended up scoring 2 goals, and we won by 1, and we upset the top-ranked team in the state. Now, granted, OMG came back and won the tournament, but at least we still had up to. That was probably the best individual moment for me.
That victory turned the tables on a lot that season. Do you remember that? I mean, at the end of the season. So they ended up being the 2 seed. You guys ended up being the 1 seed because you beat them in the first round, which ended up Edina and OMG were the top 2 teams. They ended up having to play in the first round, all because of that 1 game.
Yep.
So it was, you definitely you set your mark there. Riley and the Prior Lake made their mark for sure in that game.
Yep. That was fun.
Well, thanks for joining us today on our favorite segment.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was a nice little piece from Chuck Duber. Thanks, Chuck.
Got a real future in broadcasting.
Yes, he does, for coming into studio. Huge thanks to FVP for their sponsorship of today's show. What a great time of year for FVP to be our sponsor. If you're looking for batteries, FVP. Looking for a little ice melt for the driveway, you'll need that. FVP. You need a little splash windshield stuff.
FVP.
All right, you get the idea, right? FVP. Next time you're in the auto parts store, check out FVP.
Be your own MVP. Get FVP.
Listen to you. You must be a writer.
Sign me up.
All right. There were a few great high school hockey scores that came across while you were in the Bahamas and I was working the Squirtacular. You're looking at your Twitter feed. I said, whoa, did that happen? Whoa, did that happen? Here's 3 whoa, did that happen. Why don't you start with the first one from Thursday night?
Blaine over Andover. 8-2.
That happened?
Not super shocked at the fact that Blaine would win the game, but 8-2. That's Carson Rickles and Bryce Brodzinski, 5 points each.
Wow.
Tiny side note. Very happy that Carson seems to have found his stride. He's always been a big kid, been a talented kid. It seems like he's putting it all together as a junior.
No doubt about that.
He's coming up on 50 points for the Bengals.
No doubt about that one. I call it the Hockey Day hangover. Both Tonka struggled last week, the week after Hockey Day, and Andover.
I don't remember who mentioned it. Maybe it could have been Todd mentioned somebody on the Minnetonka squad had frostbite.
Yes.
After Hockey Day?
Yeah. Teddy Lagerbeck and Braden McComey both had some frostbite and missed some time.
That should serve as a cautionary tale to the people complaining about the thought about moving it inside.
STMA beats Roseau 5-2. I thought that was kind of an eye-popper. Not that STMA is bad, but I thought Roseau was a state tournament contender.
Throwing a little paprika on 8AA.
That's right. And here's one that I want to report on. I've seen Hibbing play this year down in Rochester, broadcasted them. Hibbing gets their first win of the year. They beat rival Eveleth 5-4. Ethan Lund had the game-winning goal. Nice little centerman for the Blue Jackets.
Yep, he never has to pay for dinner for the rest of the time he lives in Hibbing.
No. Quick shout out to our high school hockey podcast that comes out every Sunday. This is probably our biggest show of the in-season that we do. It's the picking of the Mr. Hockey finalists. We'll pick our 10 Mr. Hockey finalists on the show. 2 years ago, that'd be 2017, we went 10 for 10. Last year we didn't do so well, but this year we're going to go back for a 10 for 10. So tune into our high school hockey podcast. Airs usually Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, depending on how busy we are and our schedule. So sometime Sunday, check out for our high school hockey podcast.
There's no football on anymore.
Yeah, there will be football. There will be football on this Sunday. There's a big game.
Well, it's the last Sunday.
It's called the Super Bowl. You heard of it?
There's a specific tournament that plays their championship every Super Bowl Sunday.
That would be the Moose Goheen Score Days. Yeah, and you'll be there, by the way.
I mean, I'll be there for the first period.
I'm just kidding. We will be there in some capacity. I don't know about the championship. All right, I got a special boom roasted speed round. Usually it's just one, but after a long weekend, last couple weeks,
We should get you one of those long therapy couches, and I should perch my glasses on the tip of my nose and get a notebook.
Why would I need a couch when I can do 5?
Let's talk about what you want to boom today.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. If you're coming to the rink and you have something negative to say, bring your filter.
Shout it into your car before the game.
Boom roasted. If we make mistakes on something in a tournament, talk to us. Don't yell at us.
I promise it's more effective than yelling.
Boom roasted. If you ref in one of our tournaments and you don't like the national anthem, go ref someplace else. Boom roasted. This one goes out to my the gas pump. I've done this before. This is a repeat, but I'm going to do it again. If I want to car wash, I'll ask for it. When it's 47 below and I'm pumping gas, I don't want to be told I have to have a car wash. Do I have a Cub car? Do I have all this? No, I don't want any of that. I just want gas.
You obviously went to a speedway.
Boom roasted.
Number 5.
And last but not least, if you yell at my daughter or my daughter's friends in the penalty box, I will boom roast you every time. Boom roasted.
You're more than welcome to come down to the box and grab a clicker.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, now on to some happier thoughts. Our show spans the metro. It spans the great state of Minnesota.
Spans the world.
And it finds places all over the place. Namely, this time our really good friends at in Moorhead. We got a nice letter. Peter and I got a nice letter. Hold the letter. And the letter was very glowing, very, very, very glowing, and it was very nice to read all the nice things that Craig Stevenson from the Tobalt Foundation in Moorhead said about us and what we do. And he sent us a gift. Do you want to hold the gift, Mr. Millennial? And I'll read what he wrote. I'll read just the things that he wrote that would be for this show. A key reason I'm writing is the YouTube YHH 10-minute segment. One episode earlier this winter was talking about Tony and Peter's all-time favorite Christmas gift. Tony brought up the old Mattel electronic football games and gushed how much he loved playing as a kid. I had a good laugh, and Tony was raving about the game, and millennial Peter had absolutely no clue what he was talking about. As a token of my appreciation, I've included a gift for the two faces of YHH. They didn't include Todd, by the way. The classic Mattel electronic games. All I ask in return is to give the Tobalt Foundation a shout out on the upcoming 10-minute segment for Peter to give Tony feedback on the game. Okay, first of all, the Tobalt Foundation is a group in Moorhead that raises money for very, very low-cost hockey for the city players in the city of Moorhead. And I'm talking mites, squirts, all the way up to Pee-wees. People are reaping the benefits of the money raised through the Tobalt Foundation. We will put a link on our page for the Tobalt Foundation if you want to make a donation to them. Huge shout out for sending us a couple games. Peter will actually get to go back to the 80s and learn what it was like to see that was the video game. That was it. You got that thing in your as a present. You were top of the world. That's for sure. You were king of the neighborhood if you got that thing.
I'm always king of the neighborhood.
A huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to all the people in Moorhead for the wonderful organization that they run, especially the Tobalt Foundation. You were just up there last summer when they were breaking ground on the new rink.
I was. That was a highly emotional time, actually. That was cool. It was cool to see. Dennis Bushy, Matt Cullen, Rob Grammer, they were all tossing dirt everywhere. Steve Scheel of Scheel Sports was tossing dirt. It's nice to see the good guys win one. So Moorhead.
That is definitely the good guys. So huge shout out to them, and huge shout out to them if you want to make a donation. Great. Quick reminder, if you like our programming and you're watching on YouTube, like Craig was saying, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. The subscribe button will get you early access to 10 Minutes with Tony Scott and everything else that we do on YHH. Like, for example, our all-tournament team video comes out on that. You get that about sometimes a day or two in advance before we actually put it on the website. So for Peter Odney, welcome back to the U.S. Welcome back to the cold. I'm Tony Scott. We'll see you guys around the rink.